What's going on, guys? Night Rainbow here with another reaction video. And I'm continuing on in the Keepers of Discord series. This one is part 3. Um, at this point, all I remember is that we got the granddaughter of the first Keeper who is now taking care of Discord. I know this one's probably my favorite at the moment. The last one definitely was a pretty big bitch, if I remember right. So, I'm gonna go ahead, roll this up, and see what happens. Start in 3, 2, 1, start.
The enclosure was much different now than it had been 2 years ago. It was larger for one. Several hedges had been cleared away or moved back, allowing more space. And in that space, Sunny had planted flowers of all kinds.
Sunny, okay.
She had a delightful way of starting her garden. It definitely wasn't what I had expected. First, she tore up a large part of the turf, raking and plowing until the ground was nice and torn up. Then she came up to me to show what she was planting. Geraniums, violets, we got some daisies and lilies and marigolds. She went on, showing me all the different seeds, bulbs, and such that she had on her little cart. Truly a staggering variety. I put a lot of thought on how I was going to plant these, Mr. Discord. And you know what I decided? No, kid, I really don't. I'm going to plant them with chaos. She grinned at me, then grabbed a bunch of seeds and bulbs and just flung them at the soil. Whee, she said, then laughed, flinging hoofful after hoofful of flowers towards the tilled soil. Once she was done, she wandered around making sure that each was planted properly where it had landed. Then, struggling with her underdeveloped wings, she zipped up into the sky, returning moments later with a black cloud, which she jumped on until it dissipated, pouring its rain onto the garden below. And there we have a chaos garden. Isn't it cool? Pretty cool. I would have agreed if I could have. But that wasn't all. While she had been flinging the seeds around, she'd been too caught up to notice what else had happened. But now that she had settled down, it was only a matter of time before she saw my cutie mark. Sunny was staring wide-eyed at her haunch, where a brightly shining sun was now looking back at her, literally, as the sun had a grinning smiley face on it.
Okay, never mind, that's creepy.
Sunny squealed, running around the enclosure with sheer delight, and more than once taking briefly into the air, though her wings were still not up for much flying yet. I get it, kid, you're happy. Now would you kindly shut it? She did, but only because she came up and hugged my leg. What the heck was with this pony? Always with the hugging. None of my other keepers ever hugged me. Thanks, Mr. Discord, she said warmly. I never would have gotten my mark without you. That's not how it works, kid. But you're welcome, I guess. Oh, I gotta show every pony. I'll see you later, Mr. Discord. With that, and still laughing, Sunny Meadow ran off, her short-cropped mane and tail ruffling slightly as she ran. Finally, some peace and quiet.
Look, you like her, you know you do.
Oddly enough, the peace and quiet felt lonely. I feel so lonely. It's almost like Sunny has forgotten about me, and I'm surprised to feel myself resentful of that fact. Granted, both her mother and grandmother had left me for longer stretches than this, but this was usually due to pregnancies. Sunny hadn't gotten fat, and besides, she would have told me if she'd met any pony, so I knew it wasn't that. Maybe she'd forgotten about me. I wanted to scold her, but she just seemed so downtrodden. Not that I could have scolded her anyway, but it had been nearly a week. How dare she come sneaking back, as if nothing had happened, as if she hadn't just left me alone for so long. And how dare she come in looking so sad, nearly robbing me of my ability to be angry with her. Look at her. She's been crying and everything. What could possibly excuse... Grandma Ember died, she said, sniffling.
Oh.
I'm sorry I haven't been round much, Mr. Discord, but we were kind of close. Me and Mom, we always fought, but Grandma was always there to talk to me. It hit me kinda hard. She slumped down to the pedestal on which my statue rested, then leaned her back against it. I don't have a lot of friends, Mr. Discord, she confessed to me. The others think I'm weird 'cause I work with you, and I guess I can be annoying sometimes. But Grandma always had time for me. Now I don't have anyone left who cares about me, except Mom. And even though she loves me, sometimes I think she also hates me. I turned my attention to the Chaos Garden, which had only gotten bigger and more outrageous every year since the first. Sunflowers towered over gladiolas, and a small rose bush was trying to choke the life out of a patch of forget-me-nots. Ground ivy crept along, battling it out with a field of clover. It was ever-changing, as some of the plants were detrimental to others, and the unstable nature of the garden suited me nicely. There was even an enormous orange pumpkin that had somehow found its way in here, though Sunny was pretty sure she'd never planted it. I returned my attention back to the sobbing filly at my feet, and for the second time in my life, I felt that unfamiliar emotion. Not quite anger, not quite joy. Maybe some possessiveness as well? Or some weird mix of the three that was something completely different. I wish I knew what it was, so that I knew what to call it. You aren't alone, kid, I thought fiercely. You're never alone. Phew, that was embarrassing. Where the heck did that come from? I'm glad to say that the routine returned shortly after that. Sunny spent more and more time with me, reading to me or even just sleeping in the enclosure. She would even bring some bongo drums sometimes and sing to me while patting out a rhythm. But even more interesting to me was when she would bring in a paint and a canvas and try painting my picture. She tried many times, and all of her attempts were horrible. And even though she'd fully admit that she couldn't paint worth a darn, she'd always show the picture to me and laugh at her own ineptness. After a couple of years, though, the painting started looking, well, kind of good. The secret is to stop trying so hard to make it perfect, Sunny confessed to me after one of her paintings turned out particularly well. I just kind of turned my brain off and let it flow. She looked critically at the painting, then shrugged. It could still be better, though. I don't have your handsome face down quite right yet. Then she booped me on the nose. Fall was just about over again. The Chaos Garden was shriveled and mostly dead. Frost was on the ground most mornings, and sometimes would still be there well past noon. Winter was only a hair's breadth away. And now, this stupid filly was going to abandon me. Yeah, fine. Whatever, I thought sourly. Leave, then. It's only going to be for a little while, I promise, she said, smiling the biggest smile I'd ever seen her smile. Just until the honeymoon is over. I was angry. So angry. Why was I so angry? Sunny was getting married. Fine. Why did that have to affect me at all? That stallion had better treat her right, I thought darkly. Then I caught myself. Wait, why do I care how he treats her?
You're jealous.
I wish you could be there, she said sadly. I even asked the princess if she could move your statue to the reception, just for the day. You've been my only friend for most of my life, Discord. I'm going to miss seeing you every day. Then she started crying. Oh, darn it. Sunny was definitely no good with pregnancies. On the one paw, I was glad it was over. No more grousing about feeling sick and bloated, or groans as she tried to flit around cleaning me off. No more unexpected vomiting. On the other talon, I was, frankly, annoyed that there was going to be yet another pony taking Sunny's attention away from me. You see, I'd figured it out. I knew now why I'd been upset. Her husband had captured her eye and her heart, and now there was this foal as well. These ponies were conspiring to take my keeper away from me.
Right.
It wasn't that I cared. It wasn't because I was lonely, and it certainly wasn't because of anything as silly and pointless as jealousy. It's because she was mine, and I don't like sharing. Her name is Winter Magic, Sunny said with a smile, as she presented the tiny unicorn foal to me. 3 guesses as to why we named her that. Sunny giggled and blushed, and I stood there, not that I had a choice, confused. Well, let's see, what happened this last winter? I pondered it for a while, then I suddenly realized that was when Sunny had gotten hitched. Oh, ew. I don't want to think about that. You're still just a kid. I'd been so certain that I'd be seeing Sunny Meadows less and less often now that she had a family. I was in for a surprise. Instead of coming less often like her mother had, Sunny actually came more often, bringing her foals with her. In addition to Winter Magic, there was also Cloud Runner, a Pegasus colt, and Summer Sky, another Pegasus, this one a filly. Winter was a light blue filly with a frosted white mane. Her brother was a darker blue, with a rose-colored mane that I was sure was going to be the target of much teasing when he finally went to school. Summer Sky, though, was a picture-perfect replica of her mother in miniature.
I was gonna say.
And, rather than abandoning me and just paying attention to her foals, Sunny instead had a playground built in the ever-expanding Discord's Grove, as it was now called. Her foals played near me, around me, and sometimes on top of me. And though I rarely saw her husband, a blue unicorn stallion named Jumble, a pony that I loathed on sight, I almost knew what it was like to have a family. It was mostly really, really loud. Cloud Runner, could you bring me the scrubbing brush? Sunny asked, perched on a ladder near my back wing. I don't know what this bird ate, but it's not coming off easily. Ew, Mom, that's gross, Winter Magic said, wrinkling her nose. That filly was far too uptight for my taste. Something about being the oldest and having just gotten into school seemed to make her think that she was the boss of everyone. Cloud Runner shrugged, took the brush handle in his teeth, and flapped his way up to his mother. As she took it, he asked her, "Why don't you just fly instead of using the ladder?" "Because this bucket is heavy, and I don't want to slosh it all over while I scrub." "Why do I even have to be here? This is stupid," the ever-disappointing Winter Magic whined. "You sound like your grandma," Sunny said with a sigh. "We're here because this is our job. Our family are the keepers of Discord. Celestia herself gave this role to your great-grandma, and when I die, then it will be your jobs to take over."
All right. Yeah, so the first one finally passed away. I was wondering when that was going to happen. It had to happen soon. I'm definitely not going to miss the second keeper at all when she passed away. This one, I'm definitely going to miss. But yeah, so this turned out really good so far. I'm liking the pacing with this. Definitely a much better reformation of Discord than we had in Season 3. It only took one episode with Fluttershy. But yeah, so that's it, part 3. I'll get to part 4 soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy.